Welcome to Fierce Feminine Leadership, the success podcast for women in business. Each week, we feature interviews and advice to help you step into your power and lead your way. Now here's your host, women's leadership expert, Eleanor Beaton.
Welcome to Fierce Feminine Leadership, episode number 13. This is the podcast for ambitious women in business who are ready to step into their power, use their voices, and change the world. Now listen, today's episode, we're going to be talking about tall poppy syndrome. Have you ever found yourself playing small because you are worried that you're going to be criticized for showing up in the world as brilliantly as you really are? This is called tall poppy syndrome, and you do not have to be 6 feet tall like me to suffer from it. And today, in this episode, I'm going to show you 3 ways that tall poppy syndrome is preventing you from stepping into your power as a leader. So tall poppy syndrome is a social phenomenon in which great people of merit are criticized or resented because of their achievements. And tall poppy syndrome was actually, the term itself is well known in the business world. It was coined by researchers from New Zealand, but in fact, it is a well-established social phenomenon. There are all kinds of different expressions for it around the world. In China, for instance, the expression is the nail that sticks out is the one that gets hammered down. And of course, the idea here is that the tall poppies are the one that get lopped off first. So what do we do with tall poppies? We cut them down. And again, it's a social phenomenon in which people of merit are criticized or resented because of their achievements. Now listen, this is a huge problem for ambitious women in business because on the one hand, we're socialized from a young age to be nice, to put other people's needs above our own. And on the other hand, we're taught that in order to get ahead, we have to work hard, get great results, and not be shy about tooting our own horns. And I have certainly suffered from tall poppy syndrome, not only because I'm 6 feet tall, but because there is this cultural thing that we have that sees ambitious, high-achieving women of merit playing a little smaller than we're capable of doing. And here's the thing, that is a huge career and business limiter. In fact, I have noticed that tall poppy syndrome holds ambitious women back from growing their businesses and advancing their careers in a couple of key ways. So number 1, tall poppy syndrome makes you self-conscious. Now this is a problem because there's a huge body of research that shows that self-consciousness inhibits high performance. What you're looking to do when it comes to performing at a high level is actually to sort of forget yourself, to become so absorbed in what you're doing that you lose track of time, you lose track of yourself. As soon as you start noticing yourself, as soon as you start becoming self-conscious, it is already affecting your performance. So lady, if you are worried that your greatness is going to make other people uncomfortable, that it's going to make other people resent you, chances are the fear that you're experiencing is already affecting your performance and holding you back. Number 2, tall poppy syndrome can cause you to actually hold back from pursuing high-profile assignments. And that's because you're afraid to put yourself out there even more and cause further resentment. It's a classic case of the tall person slouching because they think it's going to make them shorter. Listen, you can't hide your greatness. There's no point in even trying to. You can't slouch around with your greatness. You've got to own it. Holding back from high-profile gigs because you are worried it's going to make people resent you can stymie your career and slow your company's growth. You've got to own your brilliance. Number 3, tall poppy syndrome can prevent you from building a powerful personal brand, and that's because tall poppies often hold back from highlighting their achievements on LinkedIn, in their resumes, in their formal bios. They're worried it's going to come across as bragging. Listen, all 3 of these areas present a tremendous opportunity for you to build your profile as a leader and an influencer. Again, when I am working with women entrepreneurs and corporate women who are really looking to build a powerful personal brand, because that is so essential for landing great opportunities. People have to know who you are and you have to have a strong brand. One of the things that happens is when I am really encouraging them to own their ambition, they get really, really shy. And so I say to them, listen, What you want is when you put your profile out there, when you read your bio, when you see your LinkedIn profile, you want to feel a little bit embarrassed. If you feel a little bit embarrassed, like you're bragging a little bit, that's the right feeling. That's what we're going for. If you don't feel like you're bragging a little bit, if you don't feel a little bit of fraud syndrome or imposter syndrome, then we haven't gone far enough, because so many women that I work with, these are ambitious, high-achieving women, have room to grow when it comes to stepping into their power and really owning their excellence and their achievements. So that's the barometer that I use. If you suffer from tall poppy syndrome, I want you to know that you are not alone. This is super common among ambitious women and men in business. I like to keep these podcast episodes short, but I've laid out here how tall poppy syndrome can affect you, but I haven't necessarily got into what you can do about it. For tips on how to overcome tall poppy syndrome, I want you to go ahead to eleanorbeatonpodcast.com/13. That's eleanorbeatonpodcast.com/13. And there you're going to get a quick tip sheet checklist on how to overcome tall poppy syndrome. If you are listening to this podcast, my sense is that you probably are yourself a tall poppy. And I will tell you that I love tall poppies. They should not be cut down. They should stand tall and shine bright. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Fierce Feminine Leadership. And until next time, my lovely tall poppy, stay fierce.
Thank you for listening to Fierce Feminine Leadership. Be sure to head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. While you're there, leave us a fierce review. When you leave a review, your name is automatically entered into a monthly draw. Each month, we'll draw one reviewer to automatically receive a private coaching session with women's leadership expert Eleanor Beaton. So remember, head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. Then leave us a review for your chance to win a private coaching session with Eleanor Beaton. Go to eleanorbeatonpodcast.com and sign up to get your free cheat sheet, the 5 critical leadership skills of 7-figure businesswomen. This free download will help you diagnose the exact skills you need to see major growth in your business and career. Head over to eleanorbeatonpodcast.com and get your free download today.